Welcome back to Boppin Around with Ayesha
and Venus.
Hey!
Woo! You cheer, we all cheer for Boppin Around.
Yay!
Shake your titties.
Okay, so welcome back, guys, to this wonderful episode.
It's sunny as fuck.
So sunny.
It's so warm in my apartment.
Gorgeous.
Obviously, let's address the elephant in the room.
Boob sweat.
That's not the elephant.
Sure, then what is it?
I'm sure everyone is just mesmerized right now by the fact that we're in a different kind of setup.
What?
We're in a different position on my couch.
No way.
Instead of sitting on this part of the couch, we're on this part of the fucking couch.
Wow.
Isn't that kind
How
of...
times change.
It's kind of crazy. Like, you just never know how things are going to go. Anyways, we decided to sit on this part because there's better lighting. Now that it's getting brighter during the day, we don't really want to be using ring lights, but this corner is, like, dark, so we moved over. And we have my lovely little plant next to us.
Alfie.
And... okay, my girl's titties are growing, that's for sure.
Pervert.
Happy Trans Visibility Day.
Thank you.
Which was it 2 days ago? Monday? Tuesday?
God knows. I was sleeping
It was
in the day.
this week anyways. Today is Thursday, so it was on Tuesday. I think it was Tuesday.
Yeah, Happy Trans Visibility Day.
Yeah, and like, what better time than your titties to be popping through?
Jesus.
Like, come on now. I see what you were talking about with the left one. Yeah. That's mad, guys, because like... look, if you have tits out there, you probably are going to say that you're big. Oh shit, the bottle was with...
Don't worry. Don't worry. It's okay.
Okay, I just realised my bottle was in the frame. Oops.
It's okay. Water.
But yeah, if you have titties, you know that your left titty is most likely bigger than your right one. Okay? Comment below.
Which titty is bigger?
Yeah, because my left one is bigger than my right one. It's like a subtle difference, but it is a difference all the same. Anyway.
I just want to say, actually, by the time this comes out, Easter weekend would have been done.
Shit, yeah, because it's Easter weekend this weekend.
Yeah, happy Easter.
Happy Easter.
Wow.
Has Easter and Eid ever fallen at the same time?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just thinking that the other day, like, interesting. Furthermore.
Hey.
Ayesha came over.
Yeah.
With matching t-shirts for us to wear.
Hell yeah. Where did I get
them
from?
They're so nice. They're so soft, guys.
Oof.
You said you got, like, what, 7 t-shirts?
7.
So you could have brought me a different colour.
Okay, calm down.
You wanted to bring me this one because you want me to keep this one.
Hold on.
Hold it.
Vinted. We got them from Vinted, okay? So, you know me, guys. I've been redoing my entire wardrobe from scratch. My friends have been so lovely, so helpful.
I don't think you've actually covered that story.
One day we'll cover it in
She
great
hasn't actually
detail.
talked about what happened over the past couple of weeks. But yeah, you had to rebuild your whole
big time.
closet.
So, yeah.
Closet? American. Wardrobe?
Yeah. Look, at the end of the day, I had to start from scratch again. And it was devastating, but a lot of my friends and a lot of Venus's friends got together and like really helped me out and supported me, and I'm really thankful and grateful for that, honestly. So I was looking at Vinted, and I'm looking at Vinted all the time. Even last year, I was looking at Vinted. Vinted, please sponsor us. Fucking love it.
Honestly, that would be amazing.
Yeah. 7 tops for £2.50.
I work like... that's incredible. I actually really need to shop on Vinted.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because, I mean, I have been. I just haven't done it for a while, for the past few months. But last year, I was buying up everything. Especially when you want to create outfits, like, especially for if you're going on holidays, festivals, stuff like that. It's just amazing. Like, it's so... I don't know, it's great.
Yeah, it really is.
You find some really unique pieces, or you can just find basics for so cheap. Like... and like, normally you associate cheap fashion with like, oh, fast fashion, bad for the environment, like bad ethics, blah, blah, blah. But like vintage or like just buying secondhand, like you can still get like really, really nice
very good
clothes for so cheap. And you're actually kind of, you're helping overall the environment by helping reduce waste.
Yeah, reducing waste, reducing carbon emissions, all of that, really good. Now, if I'm completely honest with you, the only thing that I see as an issue, maybe, Sadie was talking about it, is how there's buyer protection fee. And I'm like, babe, honestly, any item that you look at, just in your head, add £2 to it.
Yeah, because I get what Sadie's saying, because it's like, it's always going to be an extra cost, but it's low.
Yeah.
It is low.
7 t-shirts for £2.50.
Also, I'm pretty sure when you start a new account, the buyer protection fee, they waive it for new users.
Hey.
So your first order, maybe make a couple more accounts. Not saying I did that. I mean, not saying I didn't do that.
Either way.
But also it's good for sellers. And I've sold one thing on Vinted so far, just one item. And like it's great to know that like the money you put as your sale, that's 100% of the money that you get.
Yeah.
That, like I remember back in the day selling on Depop, and like you would never know how much you'd actually end up with because it was very blurry as to like, because they didn't take into account shipping. Like Vinted sorts all that out, which is amazing. That. Yeah. Although I do have a bone to pick with Vinted, but that's that was just a different experience that I had in terms of one time an item did not arrive and they refused to give me a refund, and like I tried to do a chargeback in my bank and they literally wrote to me and was like, if you do that again, we'll ban your account. But besides that, Vinted, I love you, sponsor us. Anyways, so yeah, we're matching. Are we kind of giving where's Wally? Is that it? Where's Waldo? Where's Waldo?
I'm where's Wally. You're where's Venus? Where's Veenie?
Where's Veenie?
Teeny.
Well, anyways, okay, well, what's new in the world of sex work? I feel like last week we talked all about how someone tried to steal my man. Steal my man. It's not hard to see that boy is mine. So this week, well, I guess, you know, we do want to touch on the Trans Visibility Day.
Right, that's one thing. Yeah. Another thing is domestic violence and violence against women. Well, we kind of
need to give a trigger warning for that as well.
Yes, trigger warning.
Yeah, so we will be talking about some more serious topics, so just trigger warning.
Oh my god. Do you know who Kristi Noem is?
No, who's that?
So, there's this US politician called Kristi Noem. She was the head of the DHS. That is basically the leader of the ICE enforcement agency. However, she got demoted and moved to a different sector altogether. Why? Because she was doing a bad job. Now, obviously, under Trump's administration, she's done a lot of bad shit. She even killed her dog.
What the hell?
Yeah, she killed her dog a few years back.
In what way?
She got pissed off, took it out to the back and shot it in the head.
What?
Yep. So,
what the fuck does that
yeah, what's funny is that in the past few days, the internet has been blowing up because her ex-husband had pictures leaked.
Oh, this situation, yeah.
Leaked on the internet.
I've seen this. Yeah.
And he's got some crazy fetish.
Yeah.
Right? He likes to wear fake tits, quote, bimbofy himself, unquote. It's a crazy fetish amongst people. I mean, look, people have their fetishes, and what's funny is that, you know, let them have their fetishes. It's just so funny when...
The irony.
It's the irony, right?
The fucking irony.
The big fat fucking irony, because they are so right-wing and they're so, like, anti-freedom. They act like they're all about freedom, but they're really not. And it's just kind of disgusting, really. And it's funny because all of that stuff came out on Trans Day of Visibility.
Oh my god, yeah, actually, I just realised that.
Yeah.
Wow. The irony of that. Yeah, but this is the thing, like, how many of these people really actually practice what they fucking preach? It's the same tones as what we spoke about in our episode about the Manosphere documentary. Yeah. Like, no one actually believes what they go out there and speak about.
Yeah.
They just don't. And if they do, they might think they believe it, but they... Like, he can do whatever the fuck he wants, but not, like, it's just funny because you're out here saying the opposite of that.
Of course.
So,
the reason I wanted to speak about this, right, is because it is quite interesting to see, like, the right wing are very hypocritical.
They hate themselves.
They hate themselves.
And everyone else, I guess.
There's a funny thing which people say when they have these Republican conventions, Grindr crashes.
Oh my god. Sorry, it took me a second to get.
What do you think that means? I want your opinion. What do you think that means?
Well, duh. Well, I think the writing's on the walls, right? They're all on Grindr.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh. It's literally an episode of The Boys, like I'm telling you right now. Have you watched The Boys?
Yes, or Euphoria. Not all of The Boys.
Euphoria?
Nate's dad.
Oh, right, yeah. But like, I just feel like The Boys was almost, you could
Nate's
say,
dad
word
is
for
so
word
hot.
copy. He died as well.
I know. He's so sexy. Holy shit.
His character, though. Wait till you get to season 2, because there is like...
I'm on season 2.
I forgot how, like, there's literally only 2 seasons of Euphoria out. Season 3 is coming out in a few days. Who's excited?
Me.
Comment below.
Wait. This episode will be coming out and it's going to be a few days. It's 10 days from now. As of recording.
Well, hopefully this episode will come out on Wednesday. Okay, guys, the episodes have been a little bit all over the place. You know what I'm saying? Well, no, sorry, they haven't been all over the place. I've just been posting them late. I think we might have missed 1 or 2 over the past few weeks.
Yeah.
But so hopefully this will be on Wednesday. What day is Wednesday next week?
I could not tell you for the life of me.
This girl looks like she got a mil filler injected into her lips. Sexy bitch.
Right.
I want to get like another 0.5, but I only want to go to this one specific doctor in Ireland. So.
Okay.
He does my lips. Sorry, I'm actually feeling like 80. Okay.
I want to
I know we're about to talk about something else, but can I just say?
Yes.
So I love like when my life takes a different turn and I start watching different creators on YouTube.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, I just love the evolution of who I watch. I'm very attached to the people that I watch on YouTube. YouTube is my #1 favorite app, okay? Because riddle me this, yeah? When I was a little bit gardening in this way the other night, I was like, okay, my big TikTok, 260k followers, gone. Just gone. And then I was like, right, I'm making my new account. And I was like, who am I even going to follow? Like, who was I even following before? And, like, don't get me wrong, I can remember people that I follow, people that have had a big influence on me. But, sorry, that sounds like, I guess that's the term, influencer, right? But people who I feel, you know, like I'm into watching their content and I feel a certain sense of connection to them or whatever, like parasocial, whatever.
Yes.
Or you like, you know, you want to see what they're doing day to day. And there was some people that sprung to mind, but at the same time, I was kind of like, I didn't feel this like deep pull to want to go back and follow them, to follow all these people, because I was like, do I need to refollow? Like, I don't, like, it was almost like I couldn't even think as well who I was even following. And I don't like that because I want to stay in touch. I don't want to lose my people who I follow. Do you know what I mean? But that's what happens. And that's what's happened to me since last year. Everything has been just getting deleted left, right, and center for me. But that's okay because, you know, still got my YouTube. And that's what I was thinking to myself. I was like, wait a minute. It made me realize, hey, you just don't form as deep of a, what do I want to say, bond with someone that on TikTok or Instagram that you can do on YouTube, right? On YouTube, you actually are loyal to the creator. Like you watch, if you really, really like someone's videos, you will watch all of them no matter what. Like, you will remember who you watch. Like, if my YouTube was deleted somehow, I would go back and I would know exactly who I wanted to subscribe to. And like, you feel closer to the creator ultimately, right?
Interesting.
It's just more personable or something. I don't know what it is. So I think it kind of made me realize, like, shit, like, I really want to take my YouTube seriously, which I am doing. My YouTube has been doing really well over the past few weeks as well. And it just kind of showed me how much weight YouTube truly has as a platform.
I like that.
Yeah. Now, the reason I got into that was because I've recently started watching another guy's content who I actually kind of got through Adam McIntyre. This guy called Peter Mon. He's 53, gay man. And he's just so interesting to listen to. He just like, he posts on 8 different YouTube channels every day. What? He posts a vlog every single day, just of him chatting, literally just chatting to the camera. And he jumps from topic to topic to topic to topic to topic to topic to topic. But like, it's so interesting to listen to. I think that's what I'm doing right now. I was just jumping around.
I like that.
And also, like, he just has a lot of wisdom. I feel like, you know, he's been through a lot of stuff in his life. I told you about how he was in that accident, and yeah, like, it's just, I think it's quite nice to, like, you know, watch people who are maybe a decade older than you, 2 decades older than you, because you can actually learn a lot from them, and it's just interesting to see life through, you know, an older lens. Does that sound, I hope that doesn't sound condescending, it's not meant to be, but you know what I mean? Because you get to a certain age, like once you get into your late 20s, you start to realize that everyone kind of, there was one point where people I would watch would just naturally be older than me, right? But then as you start to get older, you're like, wait a minute, all these creators are also young, they're like early 20s or whatever, and it's like, it's nice to have people who are your age or older,
right?
You know?
Of course.
Yeah.
That's
good to have both, but yeah.
Thank you for sharing.
It's fucking roasting.
It's okay, babe. No.
Anyways, what's your thoughts on YouTube as a platform? Because I want you to get into
I love YouTube. So I watch YouTube every day. I use it for the news. I use it to listen to science documentaries, history documentaries. I use it to learn languages. So right now I'm learning French, or improving my French. Oh, sorry. Smosh, horror. I use it all the time, honestly. It's just fabulous. If I need a tutorial, I do jump on YouTube. Like, for instance, if I need a tutorial for Minecraft.
Are we sponsored by YouTube?
Or if I need a tutorial for, like, eyeshadow, makeup, whatever. Or maybe something to do with
It's
social
because
media.
it's longer form content at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You're spending more time watching someone, so of course you're going to feel more, like, loyal to them, I guess, and get to know them better.
Okay, but there's one other feature that people don't really look
at.
at.
I actually want to go live on YouTube now that my TikTok's gone.
Right now?
No, right now.
Oh, as in later?
No, I just mean in general, because I was
course.
getting in such a routine of going live on TikTok, and you know, now that I'm starting from scratch, I can't even go live until I hit like 1K.
Yeah, no, of course.
So I was like, why don't I just go live on YouTube? I mean, I don't know if they really would push it out the way TikTok does, but even just for my people who subscribe to me.
Babe, look, okay, guys, look, I just want to say the thing I love about YouTube, TikTok does not really have this feature, is history.
TikTok does have that history, but it's every single fucking video that you've watched.
So for me, like, if I'm on my phone,
Instagram doesn't though, which is
yes, exactly. So, but on YouTube, it's very convenient. I just feel like there's certain things, certain platforms have that are more convenient than others.
Yeah.
There's that. Anyway, I want to talk to you about you, my friend. I want to ask you a question. What does Trans Day of Visibility mean to you? What does that mean?
Teacher Ayesha.
What comes to your mind when you?
Well, I think there's days for a lot of different things right now.
Yeah, burn the trannies. Sorry.
There's fucking days for everything. And I was thinking about this, I think, the other day. Like, the reason why we have these days is like, okay, like, what's the difference? Because at the end of the day, every day is blah 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 day, right?
Yeah.
But I'm thinking of even like, say, like Black History Month, which is February, right? I'm thinking of what else? What's another, like, even women? What was the day? International Women's Day.
It's just Day.
I think if anything, these days are just reminders. Like, take a second, be like, oh yeah, this fucking matters. Let me just acknowledge this today. But like every day, at the end of the day, you should be, obviously, it's not like you just suddenly respect these people on this one day. I think it's just more of a let's give attention to it, let's acknowledge it, because it deserves that moment.
Why does it matter?
Well, it matters, I feel like, even more than it ever did matter with the state of the fucking world right now, and how I feel like trans people are trying to be erased out of society.
Damn.
You know? I mean, the Kansas ID thing comes to mind. What other parts are being affected, like, in that way? Like, what other stories or other?
So in the UK, for instance, there's one major force against trans people.
Reform's it?
Reform's part of it, but the one person who's fueling transphobic action is J.K. Rowling.
Oh, for fuck's sake! Yeah.
Now he's an evil person.
Are you calling J.K. a he now?
Yeah. What? There an issue there?
Oh, you're like, let's misgender them.
Hold on a second. The first time when they published their books, they they sent their books to multiple publishers under a female name, got rejected. Okay, that's one topic. But then she decided to try publishing it under the name of a man.
That,
and it did work. And she went under the guise of being a man for a few years. He went under the guise. So
wait, this is funny because for a second I was like, wait, do you think J.K. Rowling is a man?
No.
And then I realized what you were doing, and I was like, right, touche.
Hell, I mean, I saw a TikTok last night talking about how J.K. Rowling is very interesting because she talks about how she's all for women's rights and women's protections, but then when you look at her social media presence, specifically on Twitter, she has a consistent history of transphobic hate and rhetoric. And there is not any clear evidence of consistent support for women in general. It's mostly just transphobic hate, which is very interesting, because if for a person who says that they support, women's rights and they care about women, you clearly don't. And what's funny is that the Epstein files, some of them were released.
I was gonna say, are they in the Epstein files?
Yeah, she's in the files.
How did I not know that?
Yeah, she's in the files. After the pedophile was convicted, her and her team reached out to him and gave them tickets for Harry Potter and the Cursed Child, the play. Yeah.
Oh my god.
He was convicted. After he was convicted, by the way.
That's crazy.
The world knows he's a pedophile.
But like, this man, he seems to have been tied up with fucking everyone. That's what I find so crazy.
Yep.
Like, did I ever hear this man's name before everything was going on over the past few years? No. But that's probably because I was young, you know what I mean? But like, it seems like everyone wanted a piece of his fucking pie.
Yeah.
And is there any evidence to suggest did they know about him being convicted as well? Yeah, they knew.
Yeah, everyone knew.
That's crazy. Oh, that's a really bad fucking look for JK.
And she doesn't talk about the files. She doesn't talk about the files. Everyone's talking about the files.
Because if you're trying to fight for women, like, I just think it's bullshit. It's not really fighting for women, like, women's rights, whatever. Like, how is that? Like, how is you trying to erase one group of people gonna help women? I don't understand that.
See, the thing is, right, the problem with JK is that he has so much...
Sorry, my hair is literally falling out.
It's fine. He has so much transphobic hate, right? And he's put in millions, hundreds of millions of pounds into, I don't know the name of these groups, but anti-trans groups, so like transphobic groups, which push certain court cases to kind of get the media, like, stirred up.
Yeah.
And
sorry, like, didn't that happen? Was it last year, the year before? What was that?
In the last 6 months to a year.
Sorry, that's one of the most recent things I think that was big in the UK. What was the exact thing that got passed?
It was about bathrooms.
Right. Jesus, I actually forgot about that. God, we've been so focused, I feel like, on American politics and everything that you kind of forget what's on your own fucking front doorstep. Like, Jesus. But and what exactly was passed into law again?
Good. So the court case originally was about whether a trans person is let's say for instance, a trans man. Are they a man or a woman? The European Human Rights Council specifically states that trans men are men and trans women are women.
Yeah.
Lovely. Now, one of the transphobic groups, fueled by J.K. Rowling's money, pushed a court case.
That was it, yeah.
And the court case was saying basically, okay, well, trans women are biologically men and trans men are biologically women. What's funny is that they really ignored the trans men are biologically women part and solely focused on the trans women being biologically
because
women.
I just feel like that's where all the attention is on. I was actually going to ask you this the other day, like, what's the percentage of trans men versus trans women?
Roughly the same.
And then there's also trans, like, non-binary people.
Yep.
Right? Like, people don't acknowledge that either. I do think so much of the attention is on trans women because at the end of the day, I feel like men are always going to be, I don't know, do you think there's something extra on men for wanting to be
it's the patriarchy.
Different than see, this patriarchy,
it's the patriarchy
fucking hurts men too.
The thing is, right, trans people in the United States and the UK are 0.5 Trans people in the United States of America and the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland both account for 0.5% of the population in both countries. Now, why is it that trans women are solely the focus? Well, if you think about it, in patriarchal society, what does it mean to have a patriarchal society? It just means to have men in power, men be like the dominant and the primary role, etc., etc. So to step down from the best to go down is insulting, demeaning, and pathetic. Hence why, to be a trans woman, it is absolutely disgusting and unfathomable, because how can you go from the best to something lower than yourself? A woman. A patriarchal society. Now, going back to the topic of J.K. Rowling pushing money into transphobic groups to push nonsense court cases in the UK, they were talking about the EHRC's guidelines, and they were saying, no, we shouldn't do this. We shouldn't let trans women into women's bathrooms. They weren't even talking about trans men. They were completely forgotten about. Now, they were talking about how, you know, there shouldn't be trans women in women's bathrooms, and the issue was on the news for a good 3 to 4 months. 3 to 4 months later, thanks to people such as the Good Law Project, shout out, love you guys.
What they call the
Good Law.
What's that?
They're basically allies who are a law practicing group, and they support the LGBTQ.
That's really good, because you know, in these situations, what do you need? You need the fucking laws. What you need?
They're the people who are fighting.
People who know the fucking legal. Yeah.
And thanks to them, we kept our rights. What were the rights? For us to go take a piss in fucking private in peace.
Wait, so are you fucking serious right now? What? I feel like we never spoke about this. So you're saying that that law they tried to pass and they were all celebrating it. Like, I remember seeing the pictures and stuff.
It was overturned.
Sorry, that's just so funny in a sense, because it's like you wasted all this fucking time and money. I didn't hear anything about it being overturned.
There you go.
When was it overturned?
About a month ago.
A month ago?
Yep.
That's recent then. Oh my god. And that was possible because why? The law came in and said you can't do that legally. They fought for it.
Yeah, they were just like, if you think that the main, like...
So what were they even fucking celebrating?
Babe, the main point, they were celebrating the fact that they got the case into court. Okay?
And that, you know what? This is where I think sometimes it's like, okay, because, what do we say? Fear mongering? Like, of course, it's a real thing, right? That could have been passed. It could have gone ahead. But it's also like, these people, they go on and on about, this is what we want, this is what we want. But hopefully, and thankfully in this instance, it will be very hard to pass certain just like barbaric laws that aren't like that don't support human rights, I guess. Like, Jesus, like...
Look, at the end of the day, the court was basically, well, the people fighting for our cause were saying, it's interesting that a person would transition medically and socially for years upon end, go through humiliation rituals after humiliation rituals, you know, so much self-loathing and self-hate. 40% of trans people are suicidal, okay? I think about 60% of people who don't receive care end up committing suicide. Now, let me just say, they looked at that and they were like, if a man really wanted to assault women in their bathroom, would he go through all the effort to transition and then go assault? No, of course the fuck not. He's just gonna fucking walk in. Why? Because society treats rapists better than they treat trans people. Okay? Look at Jeffrey Epstein. Donald Trump is still in fucking power. J.K. Rowling in the fucking files. Excuse me. Thank you. Yeah, that's it. Trans Visibility Day.
Yeah. It's also interesting too, because if they were just focusing on trans women, I think I said this at the time, like, did we speak about this on the podcast? Maybe. But maybe in one... Okay, anyways, that's fine. But you're focusing on trans women, you don't want them coming into a female bathroom. But then, okay, well, in that instance, that means women who are transitioned... Sorry. In that instance, that means trans men, right, who have transitioned from being biologically female are going to be in your bathroom then.
Yeah.
So...
Imagine burlesque.
Husky men. Are you okay with that? Are you okay with that? Because if it was the opposite way around, it would probably work out better for you and for everyone else. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't make logical sense. But they were only focusing on trans women.
Yep.
So nowhere included anything about trans men. So they were like, trans women, go to the male bathroom. Trans men, go to the male bathroom.
There's a clip.
Also, who gives a fuck about the fucking bathrooms? Like, most of these bathrooms that we go to, we don't want to be in them for longer than a fucking minute, right? Yeah. They're fucking public bathrooms, like, a lot of times can be just, like, dirty, smell, whatever. You're like, go in, get the fuck out. Close your cubicle door.
Exactly.
Okay?
Now, look at it like this, right? Imagine Imagine saying that biological women, trans men, need to be in the female's bathroom. Imagine a trans man walks into the women's bathroom. Mm-hmm. That's weird as fuck.
I know, yeah. That is weird. And that's also, you're going to be thinking, you're in the wrong bathroom. You know what I mean? That's what's going to go through your head.
And what are they going to say? They're going to say, oh, it's not my fault, it's the law.
Yeah. Make up your fucking minds, hoes. Or even if you have made up your mind, do you realise that it's not... Makes no sense?
Does it not click for you?
Makes no sense.
Imagine a big...
like in general, like the whole thing of gendered bathrooms in 2026, it is kind of like, okay, how are we going to work this out? Like, what's the best decision? But to just outright say, oh, like, no trans women in my toilet. I'm sorry. Also, my toilet. It's not your fucking toilet. Like, do you understand that if you're just talking about trans people in general, that means that you are now going to have trans men coming into your toilet. Anyways, if you're judging it off of biology.
It's wild. It is wild. But I'm glad we spoke about that. Yeah.
And to all our trans viewers out there, happy Trans Visibility Day, and keep on being you and celebrating who you are. And despite all the fucked up shit going on around you, just find the people that, you know, support you, lift you up.
Yeah.
And
if you have any like words of affirmation, feel free to comment it. If you have any questions or want any advice, we'd love to help.
This girl has a lot
of
advice to share. I feel like you've been through a crazy 2 years, like from the moment that you kind of like came out as being trans, and then just everything that's gone down.
Insane.
Like, you sat on that couch on New Year's Eve and you were like, this year is going to be crazy for me for many reasons.
Jesus.
People just need to focus on their own lives and just meditate and understand that we live here on this earth for a select number of years. I don't think those years are supposed to be spent like limiting how other people live and what they do.
Let's talk about something.
Be for real. Just be free, guys.
Oh, sure.
Are you for real?
So right now, I'd want to talk to you about something, Venus.
Yeah.
Violence against women. The reason I wanted to speak about violence against women is because a few nights ago, I was scrolling on my phone on specifically Twitter, by the way. I never used Twitter. And I thought, let me give the algorithm a chance. You know, when you use a new social media app or a new account, the algorithm has to kind of get to know you. So they just throw a bunch of videos at you. Mm-hmm. I saw a video and the video was appalling. Like, it really made me tear up. I was so sad. And it was just talking about how, you know, yes, violence against women exists and stuff. And I'm not going to make a joke about it because it's fucking disgusting. There's men out there who beat their wives, who beat their partners. And I think the statistic, I'm not sure specifically where it comes from, if it's the Office of National Statistics or where else, or if it's from university, or if it's from the World Health Organization, about you're more likely to be killed by your partner than a random stranger. Mm-hmm. I think the statistic is about in the range of 40 to 60%. That's deeply concerning because the video I saw showed men who were laughing about them hitting their women. Their women. That's how they referred to them as, which was disgusting and absolutely heartbreaking. And what's interesting is I saw a statistic this morning which said in the year 2025, last year, 540 million women from a select number of countries reported domestic violence abuse. 540 million. The
Jesus
United States
Christ.
population is 360 million.
Fucking hell. That's crazy.
The population of the United Kingdom is what, in the range of 60 to 70, 80, maybe 90 max. Same with France.
It just goes to show, really, like, you know, so that's probably like 1 in every women, like 1 in every, I mean, I'm not going to do the maths, but you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, you know, the whole thing, like 1 in 10,
I think it's...
In school, it would be like, you know, 1 in every 10 people in this classroom right now will be gay. Like, I remember that was said a lot.
Oh, wow.
Like, as if it was some sort of, like,
sex ed class.
Gotcha!
I
like,
wasn't there.
It wasn't even, I don't think it was just sex ed. Maybe it was, actually, yeah. But, yeah, that's That's a very terrifying statistic.
It is. There's another one I saw which said that in the West Midlands, so up north in England, 9 out of 10 women are afraid to walk at night. It's fucking terrifying. I mean, I'm fucking terrified to walk at night. I'm fucking scared to leave my house in the middle of the day. You know, like this girl has to be on fucking FaceTime with me, or maybe Sadie. Someone has to be on FaceTime with me and calm me down.
I was on FaceTime with her as she was coming here. Before she left the house, she was kind of like, babe, I'm really struggling to leave the house. And, you know, it puts things in perspective, because I think for people who are in minority communities, you know, or people who, well, for example, let's say for you, a trans woman, like you're leaving your house and you're, I guess as a cis woman, it's like you take for granted that even just leaving your house and being free to look a certain way and people aren't going to question it because it's like, oh, you're conforming. Like that's a privilege, like not having to be, I guess, scared and have anxiety about stepping out into the world.
Right.
I mean, like, of course, you never know what's going to happen. You can be any man or any person, any sort of person, and anything could happen to you. But just in general, you know what I mean? Like, you're scared someone is going to say something to you. You never know who you're going to come across. And that's really unfair, but that's just how things are at the moment. And I guess, in a way, have always been, right? But especially, it feels like things have just ramped up. Big time.
Part of the reason why I wanted to speak about this was, yes, I saw that video, but also we had a comment on a clips video on our TikTok page, which spoke about how, you know, we're talking about the manosphere in our previous episode and the one before that, and how apparently Miss Andry is being pushed to the masses via mainstream social media. Now, I want to clarify something. When we speak about the manosphere, we're not trying to push Miss Andry, okay? Feminism exists because equality isn't there. And it's not about rights, so to say, but it's about behavior, respect, and just all around human decency, because that isn't there, right? You've got people around the world being harassed and abused just because they are a woman. And the people who abuse them, the people who aggravate them, they don't get punished, you know? Sure, 540 million people reported domestic violence abuse, but imagine how much more didn't report it, okay? That's fucking insane. Yeah. At the end of the day, that just goes to show people are scared that there will be no repercussions.
I'm going to search this up right now, actually.
Please do. It was from the World Health Organization.
When you put it like that as well, like the amount of people that don't report, 540, oh my god, my phone's gonna die. 540 million women.
Yeah. Domestic violence.
Reported.
Then write WHO.
Oh, it's actually 840.
Oh my god, I'm so sorry.
Oh my god.
I'm so sorry, I got that.
Fuck?
I got it wrong.
Nearly. God, this picture, Lord.
I got it fucking wrong.
Around 840 million, or roughly 1 in 3. There we go. There's the answer.
Worse than
3. Roughly 1 in 3 women globally have experienced intimate partner or sexual violence in their lifetime.
And that's reported. 33%.
So that's okay. So either intimate partner or just sexual violence in general, which is probably most likely from their partner. But 11% of, or 316 million women who have been partnered. In the last, when was this written? Recently?
2025.
2025.
Yeah.
In the past 12 months alone, 11% or 316 million women who have ever been partnered were subjected to physical and or sexual violence. So 316 million is specifically related to the partner. But like
840 million.
And the violence starts early, affecting 16% of adolescent girls aged 15 to 19. That's 12.5 million adolescent girls around the world.
Reported.
Jesus.
That's 840 million is more than double the population of the United States.
That's scary. An estimated 8% of women and girls globally have been subjected to sexual violence by someone other than a husband or partner or non-partner.
So the video was specifically talking about violence against women in like South Asia. And there's like a certain part in India where women are scared to leave their houses after dark because if a man catches them, he will grape them and then they are forced to marry attack her.
Yeah.
It's just horrible.
Sorry, why is that making me think of the festival in Nigeria that got cancelled for being a rape festival?
Yeah, the Ozo festival.
Sorry,
Ozoro
like, trigger
festival.
warning again for
fucking
rape,
disgusting. But they were walking around the streets looking for women to harass and assault. They would leave the sector or the neighborhood, go to different neighborhoods, pull and drag women out the houses.
No, that's so scary. I saw some videos of it and it's just like
horrible. It's disgusting. That's like people's brothers, uncles, fathers, brothers.
You know what? Someone in our life, like, literally just told, what randomly, we were already going to speak about this today, but someone actually told us today about something that happened to them literally last night with a man, and it's just like, it's the fucking entitlement. It's like, and like, yeah, you can say like, oh, in other parts of the world, that's just how they act, but it's like, no, there's a difference between right and wrong, and I'm sorry, like, how the fuck is it anywhere? It's just, sorry, I can't even form the sentences. Like,
disgusting.
Like, it's like, in this instance of someone that we know, it was like this man kept coming up to them, being like, hug me, and then was telling them multiple messages like, come on, just kiss me on the mouth. And it's like, you don't have an entitlement to someone else's body like that.
Fucking disgusting.
And like, where did you learn that was okay? It's so disturbing.
That's the reason it's so important to talk about things like the
because it happened, like, it happens in extremities, but then it's also in these more subtle things too, you know what I mean, that you might not first click, you know. I mean, we were even talking about that in the last week's episode, like, just men in general kind of having this sense of like entitlement, like disrespecting women, and just, you know, even gay men, like, you know, like, that was kind of where the story was going, but that's kind of what we spoke about last episode.
You know, people do these things and they get away with it because it's not spoken about enough. And then you've got others who say, you speak about it too much. No. The reason we have to speak about it is because it still happens. If the statistics are increasing as the year goes on, and the next year comes, and the next year comes, what's going to happen to your kids and your grandkids? It's going to be fucking worse. In America, you've got states where you can marry people who are under the age of 16.
What states?
California.
What? Like, legally?
Legally.
Still to this day?
With the parents' permission, you can marry someone under the age of 16. Fact check me if I'm wrong, but I'm sure there's multiple states in the United States. So you
could be 16 marrying a 40-year-old?
Yeah. You could be 14 and married a 40-year-old.
How does that even, like, that legally just sounds like a fucked up, like, that's literally against the law. But, like, it's against the law to have sex with someone under the age of whatever it is for that state.
Hey, all the states have different rules.
Look.
Okay? Terrible. So, yeah, I'm sorry to have, like, made it seem like so dark, but it's important to talk about it, because if we don't, then people will get hurt more. It's important to talk about it because it does help. Why? Because it shows people who are survivors, it shows people who are scared that there is support, there are people who care, and we do want to make a change. Okay? At the end of the day, whether you are a trans woman, whether you're a cis woman, whether you're a young boy or a man who's got assaulted, it's not right and it should be stopped. But the only way we can stop something like that is if we come together. Because staying on the sidelines and watching it happen, I'm not saying that you're just as bad as the perpetrator, but you're not good either. Okay? You're not good either. And of course, there are some times when you might need to walk away because you might not be able to do anything in that situation. That's fine. But the main thing is, the easiest thing to do is talk about it, get awareness, talk to survivors, see how you can help them. Obviously, when we do get the chance, we will like try and attach links to help support survivors and victims of such crimes.
Yeah, we can attach it to this episode.
Yeah, definitely. I think we should. Wow.
I also think it's great to see when other men call out other men too, I think, because it kind of shows a sense of like that's helping to protect women. I mean, I've seen it happen in real life. Like, this one situation, I remember me and my friend were on the bus and there was this like drunk man and he was just I think he was drunk, God knows what he was, but he didn't seem sober, but he was just harassing women left, right and centre, touching them, doing a bunch of madness. And, you know, I remember seeing one man step in. This guy who was harassing, he was specifically focusing on this one girl. And then this other man came down and was like to the girl, like, here, are you getting off at this stop? Like, I'll walk home with you. I'll walk you to, like, I think he was with his wife or something, but they were like, we'll walk you to your house. Like, we'll walk you, make sure you're safe. And then I think, and there was a good other few men trying to shut him up, trying to get him to stop. You know what I mean? And then eventually there was only one man left on the bus, and he had been like completely like removed from the situation. But I think he was aware he was the only man there, so he like. This guy kept on trying. Like, there was a woman asleep, like literally asleep, and he came up to her and was like trying to get her attention, like touching her and stuff. And then this other guy, he realized, I think he kind of was aware, like, I'm the only man here, let me try and, because it's more just about, you know, women, as women, we're scared, you know, we're scared of men. We biologically, they're stronger than us. Like, we don't want to be the next person to be harassed. I mean, it's funny because I think about that situation now and I'm like, if it happened today, would I want to like say something? And honestly, probably, like, you know, like, I think it just depends though in the situation, but it is great to see when there's, you know, another man there that will step in and just like, you know, try and help. And yeah, that's what that guy did. He started like just like shouting at him, being like, can you leave her alone and stuff. And then eventually like the bus driver finally fucking paid attention, and he got the guy, he's like, come here. He got the guy to step out of the bus, and he just closed the doors and drove off. But, you know, it's just, you know, you see these little situations a lot. You see, like, just things when you're out and about, especially at night. I mean, I've had my own types of things happen to me, and it's just like, well, there's one situation. There's one situation in particular that really, I think was probably the worst that it's ever been. And it was a random person as well. Because as much as we spoke about, you know, with partners and how violence is more common in that way when you're with someone.
Right.
You know, it can also be just a random person on the street too, which is exactly what happened to me a few years ago. Really, really, like, just awful situation that could have gone worse, but thankfully didn't.
Yeah.
It was still awful, but, you know, I sometimes think back on that and I'm like, wow, if that man had, like, actually had, like, you know, a knife on him, or it had, like, it could have gone a lot worse. And my response in that situation was, you know, there's fight, flight, fawn.
Yeah.
I've recently learned about like the fawn, and I think that is a very interesting approach. I think if you guys don't know what fawning is, it's kind of like where you play into it almost, which sounds scary to think about, but actually it's a kind of like, it's weird. You play almost a trick on the attacker, if you want to say. Like,
yeah.
For example, this girl I watch, she has really good videos about how to be safe as a woman. Her name on TikTok is Rachel Lovely, I think. And she has this one video where she talks about like ways that you can stay safe, right? And always try to get to a place where there's a lot of other people.
Yes.
So if you are feeling unsafe, do not go anywhere in private. I'm trying to think what, like, I kind of think about this in terms of my own apartment building, right? If I saw a man get into the lift with me, she says this thing like, just play like really nice and sweet, right? And be like, oh, like, what floor are you going to? If you don't want them to see what floor you're going to first, before you press your number, be like, what floor are you going to? I'll press it for you. It's kind of just like it helps you keep some sense of control.
Right.
It kind of, I guess, playing along. We see that in that movie. What's it called? Is it Woman of the Hour? Is that, you know, on Netflix? Oh my God, babe, you should watch it. I think it's Woman of the Hour. They show a few different stories from this one guy.
Oh.
This one, like, rapist.
Anna Kendrick.
Yes, please.
I watched it.
Oh, you did watch it.
I watched it
and
twice.
You see that one of the victims of him, like, in that movie, like, kind of basically go through the fawning response where she, like, kind of plays into his, like, she's like, oh, what does she, like, because he was basically going to, like, you know, like,
off her.
Yeah. And she kind of like wakes up from being unconscious and she's like, oh my God, like she pretends, like she plays as if she had, like, you basically play dumb, right?
Yeah.
That's essentially it. And she plays dumb and she's kind of like, oh my God, what just happened? That was crazy. Okay, we don't have to tell anyone what you did. Like, we don't have to talk about it. Like, oh my God, I'm so embarrassed. I don't even want to speak about it.
No,
and it kind of like fed into his, I don't know what, it just tricked his brain anyways into like being like, okay, let me leave her. And they drive off and then she escapes. And anyways, but I sometimes think about it too, like if someone was to come to my house, like some random man's at my door and I'm just confused as to like who the fuck this is, right? This is just a very hypothetical situation. I'd be like, when I'm thinking about the fawn response, I'd be like, oh my God, like, hi, like, Oh my god. Okay, first of all, can we just go down to my post area? I just need to get pick up a package first. Now, I don't know how much that would work because it's like, am I gonna go in the lift with this person? But you know what I mean? Just try. The whole thing is just try and get into a public space.
Of course.
But
sad that we have to, but
in that situation that I was speaking about that happened to me, I actually did go into the fight response, and in that instance, thankfully, it worked out. But yeah, it's sad to think about these things, but I think after what happened to me, I was kind of like, you know what, I would like to. It's kind of like what you were doing, kickboxing.
Yeah. I'm gonna get back into
as
it
a like
again, yeah.
You know, as a woman, it's like we do need to constantly think about ways to protect ourselves. You know, just even something simple as having your keys in your hand, like, you know.
Yeah.
I think every time I'm outside now and I'm holding my keys unconscious, I'm always thinking like,
really?
There's a reason why I'm holding my keys in my hand, you know.
Of course. Crazy.
It's crazy though. Like one little thing, like just one little detail in these situations can literally like save your life.
Yeah.
Anyways, that was a very heavy topic, but it's also a very real topic. And
of course,
you know, this podcast, as much as we are very lighthearted and silly and like, you know, talking about sex work and the industry and our day-to-day lives and the stories and the things that happen to us, you know, we also want to talk about what's going on in the world, and sometimes,
right,
like, unfortunately, that is serious, heavy shit. So
yeah. I totally do agree that, yes, we can be lighthearted, but at the end of the day, this is a platform for us to talk about things that we care about, whether it's people's rights or keeping people safe, things that we're interested in, or just things going on the internet or around the world. One of those things being Iran.
Yeah.
So right now, there's a war going on in the Middle East.
Yeah.
It's something that was started by the United States of America and Israel. They decided to start this war with no clear objectives. At first, they tried to talk about regime change, and they quickly backed down, and they said, no, not regime change, because they took down the leader of the country, but the country didn't fall.
Duh.
Yeah, they have a theocracy. So what is a theocracy? It's not a democracy, but it's a type of government where they specifically focus on religion. And they use that as their basis for their principles and their laws and guidances. Now, Iran itself didn't fall when they took out the leader. They stayed strong. What scared the world was the oil prices started to rise. The reason this happened is because the country is very close to this little bit of water called the Strait of Hormuz. Now, I'm quite familiar with that because of certain games I play, but let's not get into that. Let's talk about the Strait. So the Strait of Hormuz is where 20% of the world's oil flows through. Okay? 20% is a lot. Okay? If you have oil coming from all of these oil-rich countries, which is their main source of income for their economies, people will be suffering because their countries aren't getting oil. So what happens? The price of oil rises because demand and supply, right? The supply is not there, but the demand is rising rapidly, causing it to increase. As a result, everything will become more expensive. Now, why is this such an important issue? The reason it's such an important issue is because if you're living in the United Kingdom, what's the population? About 60, 70, maybe 80, 90 million. What is the population of Iran? What is the population of Iran? I'm going to give you 2 seconds to think. You guess what the population is.
I feel like maybe...
Remember, this is like an average population country, the United Kingdom.
What?
The United Kingdom has like an average kind of population.
So what's Iran then?
It's an average.
Yeah.
It's about 90 million. Yeah. Their population is 90 million people. Imagine if it was this country. All of a sudden, you've got two countries who've been wanting to fight you for 50 years, have now decided, let's destroy you. They had no clear objectives. And then in the last couple of days of recording this said, our objectives were to obliterate their navy, their air force, and their army. And we've done all of it. But the war's not over yet because apparently Iran isn't backing down. And the President of the United States is not very happy with NATO and their allies because they refuse to help. The thing about NATO is, NATO being the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, set up after the Second World War to prevent war with Russia.
Yeah.
It's a defensive pact, meaning they won't go into offensive wars, right? This was an offensive war, and Trump was telling his NATO allies, I'm so ashamed of you, I'm so angry at you, I'm so mad at you. Because of you, your prices are going to rise. You started the war, mate. Now, the reason I specifically wanted... Yeah, it's crazy, right? The reason I wanted to specifically talk about this is because there was a person working at the United Nations who resigned recently. I don't remember his name, but he leaked a document saying, I'm going to resign from my job and leak this document. The fact that the United States is considering to drop a nuclear weapon on the country.
For the love of fuck.
Insane, right? Where is it going to end? We don't know. They have been dilly-dallying. They've said originally that the war was supposed to last 4 to 6 weeks. As of recording, it's been 4 weeks.
And tell me, what's the update now on like UAE, for example? Because there's people that I know there. There's also people that I watch. There's a girl's content I watch. She actually left Dubai and she went to Malaysia, but I saw she went back now to Dubai. So the airspace is open.
It's on and off.
Right, so they must have found a way to get back.
I can't believe she went back.
Really?
It's going to get worse. It's just going to get worse. They've started not only hitting American air bases, but now they've started hitting electricity generators. And one other thing. In the Middle East, oil is abundant. What is not abundant? Clean drinking water. They've been hitting the clean drinking water supplies.
Jesus Christ. It's crazy because it's like, oh my God, like, what are the two things that make the world go round? Money and sex. So, money, this is all basically, if we really get down to the fucking nitty gritty.
Yep.
The fucking, what's it called? The earth crust. What's the center of the earth?
The core.
The core. The core. They're just fucking greedy as shit. Like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, we think, okay, what are we going to do to get money? Oh my God, let's like, let me think. Not me comparing this to my own work, but like, okay, if I'm thinking today I want to make a bunch of money on OnlyFans, like, what am I going to do? How am I going to go about that? The mindset they're having is, I want to make a bunch of money. Let me go drop a fucking nuclear bomb.
Yep.
Like, is that the thought process? Because what the fuck?
See, the original thing is, right, at the beginning of the year, or in the last 12 months at least, Trump thought to himself, how can I make the United States more profitable? So he decides, let's go after Greenland so they can create their new Golden Dome system, right? Now, that being said, everyone in NATO allies were like, you're fucking crazy. We're not doing that. He even said we might use the military. They're like, don't you dare. Denmark started sending troops. They started sending blood from their home country to their colony of Greenland because they were scared if that a war did break out.
Denmark has a colony in Greenland?
Greenland is their colony. Yeah. Denmark sent blood. Okay. They sent blood because they thought a war was going to break out, and if soldiers needed blood, they wouldn't die.
That's giving The Pit, if you guys have watched The Pit.
Scary show.
I want you to finish it.
I'll try.
The worst scene is in season 2.
Okay.
If you know what episode I'm talking about, that man, his arm. Oh my God.
Jesus. Anyway, look. Trump then sent troops to Venezuela, took out the leader, regime change. Okay, they stole hundreds of millions of barrels of oil. He then straight away moved 2 aircraft carriers to the Strait of Hormuz area. And guess what? A 3rd aircraft carrier is now approaching. Why? Because at first they thought they can do regime change from the sky, just Air Force attacks. Now they're sending in troops. I think the range is about 10 to 15,000 American troops.
Right, okay. And you're saying they stole the oil? How did they go about that?
You ain't got guns in it.
They just went in, shot a bunch of people.
Stole the tankers. They got their military ships and military planes.
And they shot. Like, how many people have actually been shot?
And killed?
Yeah.
I'm not specifically sure, but the numbers are out there. At least, I don't think it's more than 1,000. It's under that, obviously. They done it. They were in and out.
More than 1,000.
But in Iran, in the Iranian conflict, there's been a lot of casualties.
I'm talking about Iran.
Oh, okay. There's been thousands.
What were you talking about?
I was talking about Venezuela.
In
Iran, there's been like...
When did we get to Venezuela?
After Greenland, there was Venezuela.
Oh, I didn't hear that.
They took out the leader of Venezuela in 6 hours.
This year?
Yeah, 6 hours.
I think I remember
in January.
Okay,
yeah.
right.
They went in, went
out. But Iran, they've gone in.
Then they sent one aircraft carrier, the biggest one, to Venezuela, took out the leader in 6 hours or less with a new secret weapon. And then they sent the main aircraft carrier to Iran, sent another aircraft carrier, which was patrolling by China, to Iran. Now they're sending a third aircraft carrier, God knows from where, to there as well. Why? Because they need the firepower. And it's funny, the United States has the largest military budget in the world by far, and yet they can't take on Iran. Insane. The reason I wanted to speak about this is because of the escalation. You know, the fact that someone had quit their job from the United Nations and leaked the fact that they are considering to use a nuclear weapon is terrifying, because Iran is saying they're not going to back down. Trump is talking about how they are trying to engage in peace talks, and Iran is saying, nope, they're lying. Because the last 2 times that the United States tried to engage in diplomacy in the last 12 months, it was all a lie. During talks, the United States then started to fight them. Insane. I don't know. It's interesting to see what's going to happen.
It is, especially given the fact that, like, I think when you look at someone like Trump, you just never really know how things can go, right?
Yeah. And that's how he's playing it. He's going back and forth. Right now, there's an island called Karg Island. Why is it so important? It's because it is Iran's island which exports 90% of their crude oil. 90%. And Trump is saying that they're going to either take it by force or they're going to completely obliterate it. We don't know if he's being serious. We don't know, because he said a few other things and he wasn't serious.
He's so unserious.
Yeah. So everyone's kind of like on edge. And then he went on to say stuff like, oh, do you know what? UK, France, EU, all of you guys, screw yourself. If you want the oil from the Strait of Hormuz, go get it yourself. You're the one who caused this issue.
Yeah.
But hey, he had a pledge to his voters saying that oil will be about $1 per gallon. Now, by average, I think it's $4 a gallon. Jesus. In the United States. Even his voters don't like it.
So you're full of fucking shit.
Yeah.
Do you still haven't tuned into the net? It's called The Necessary Conversation. I think you should watch it.
Shut up. Shut your mouth right now. We've never spoke about this.
We did, but I didn't remember what it was called. I think I said to you, kids and their mom and dad.
For months.
Bitch, I think we said this on the podcast where I talked about this son and daughter and their mom and dad.
I've been listening to them for months.
Oh, for the love of fuck. She mustn't have been paying attention to me. The reason I know is because someone in my life watches them. And they were watching it specifically over Christmas and like kept like showing me parts of it. And I was just like, what the fuck? Because you know what goes through my head? I was like, how did they get their mom and dad to agree to show themselves like this on camera? You know what I mean? Now, this person who showed me it actually told me the other day it's because the mom's a narcissist and wants to be famous. I don't know how accurate that is, but it's a very interesting podcast though, because it's a very unique type of thing. You wouldn't expect to see like these two people and their parents, like, from two different sides of the political landscape talking, you know what I mean? I haven't seen a lot of it. I've seen bits and pieces.
I've seen a lot of it.
Yeah. But I was thinking for you, it'd be extremely, like, I think you would really find it really interesting,
The Necessary Conversation, amazing podcast.
It's a unique type of, like, podcast idea, you know? And you kind of just get to see a little bit into the mindset of people that, like, just ride for Trump no matter what.
Exactly.
Like, riding his dick no matter what.
Brown nosing.
And they kind of like, they choose to just kind of like, it's like all the facts are like swimming around them, but they choose to like just like go like that through them. You know what I mean? It's just
and their mum is hilarious because they tell the mum,
they wear the fucking Trump hats and shit.
They do.
Like, who does that?
They tell their mum, he's in the files and
yeah, I think I've.
And the mum's like, well, if he's convicted, I'm gonna stop following him. I'm gonna stop supporting him. And they're like, but he's in the files. People are, you know, and then they're just ignoring it. And the dad goes on talking about how they should nuke Iran, kill them all.
Yeah, from the things I've seen of the dad, like he just kind of sits there like
horrible human being.
And then he just be like, that's all I hear when he talks. But anyways, wow.
Yeah, wow.
Anyways, guys.
Yeah. What an episode.
This girl is like, you have a lot of political knowledge, babe.
Whoa. Me?
You've always been that way. You just really are tapped in. And I said this before, but obviously I know, like, it's actually your survival depends on it as well. You know, in a lot of ways to do with like trans rights and everything, and how there being certain laws that are being passed and things being discussed and fucking politics about it. But obviously, like, it's relevant to everyone to know these things.
Big time.
But anyways, guys, I hope that this episode was
informative.
Yeah, I was actually gonna say informative. Yeah. It was a bit more of a serious tone, but it's obviously important to talk about these things.
Very important.
You know, we kind of talk about what's been going on in our week, and Ayesha came to me today and she was like, I just really want to speak about this, you know, and I want to speak about these issues, and I think it's important. It's good that we will always be that space. I mean, essentially, we kind of want to really focus on just issues that affect, like, women, the LGBTQ plus community. So that's kind of a big element, I would say, of our podcast. You know? And then the other half of it is just being bops.
Bopping around.
Shrek workers, mattress actresses, bops. Whatever you want to call it.
Whatever you want to call us.
And who knows what we'll be talking about next. We don't really like plan out our episodes that much. We kind of just base it. We record like every week. We actually haven't batch recorded in a while.
Of course.
We kind of just like to, as I said, we like to just talk about what's been going on, what we've been thinking about, what's been happening. And
look, I just want to say, yes, we are relatively new as a podcast, but from the support and love that we've gotten so far, we appreciate it so much. You know, if there's anything that you want us to talk about, if there's any like comments or support or feedback that you have, feel free to leave comments as you've already done so. Yeah. Honestly, it was lovely speaking to you.
We appreciate all your comments. Good and bad, actually. Mm-hmm. It's like what you always say. I'm always like, no bad comments, but give us the bad comments.
Please do.
Give us critique, if anything.
Of course.
Instead of calling us.
Do you like the tree,
dirty
guys?
Whores.
Oh my.
Yeah, we have very. I actually think this was nice. It gives a nice. There's something about plants, guys. I feel very good sitting next to this. You know. You feel a life force. Yeah. You're reminded. Us humans and plants. What's the difference?
I mean, there's a lot, but let's not get started.
Right, we need to end this. Okay, guys, thank you so much for watching. As always,
we love you so much.
Much love. Take care of yourself. It's almost summer. The light is out. The sun is out actually as well in the UK, which is amazing.
For once.
We're gonna have longer days, which I'm obsessed with.
Hope you had a lovely Easter.
Yes.
And stay tuned.
Yeah. Okay. Bye.
Bye. Ciao. Mwah.